What's going on, Geekdom? This is Chipmunk. Want to do a review. This review is going to be over The Matrix Resurrection. And yes, there will be some spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen The Matrix Resurrection, you can skip over this video. But yeah, there's going to be some spoilers. I'm going to try not to do too heavy of some spoilers, but there's going to be spoilers. But yeah, so The Matrix Resurrection wasn't a bad movie whatsoever. I did enjoy it. I like the symbolisms in the movie, how it referenced as far as like movie studios and stuff like that and their control over people, social media and stuff like that. I love all the references. There's a lot of stuff that has changed with the Matrix, but this is a whole new Matrix system. I like the whole binary thing as well. They had the binary game, and then the binary reference with Neo and Trinity. I like that as well. It's a lot of things that they try to show you as far as how movie studios and stuff do, as far as like recreating IPs, or just doing IPs that are familiar with people, because people like things that are familiar to them. So they'll most likely go and watch or go and see and go and do things that are familiar to them than something that is new. Uh, so I like the references and stuff that they had from the other Matrix movies and things like that. There's a lot of things that are different but are the same, basically. Like I like the change with the mirror, and I like how the mirror is like a reference into like the internet and social media and stuff as well. So that's basically how they get back and forth through the Matrix, is by the mirror. So yeah, I like that they're doing mirrors instead of phones, because phones was analog for the internet. So back then it made sense. Uh, yeah. Now everything is like off of the phone. Everyone's getting their internet and stuff off of the phones, stuff like that. So that's where the mirror reference and stuff comes from. I like a lot of the neat things that they had with it. It's a lot of callbacks. It's a lot of callbacks, but it's a lot of stuff that is just worked really really well with it. There's other things that I was like didn't make sense for the antagonist of the story. I forgot what the character was called, but the character Neil Patrick Harris was playing. Um, I thought the stuff that didn't too much make sense or work too well is his purposes of putting the characters in the certain places that they're in, like Agent Smith, changing him up and then putting him as the boss of Neo. I thought some of those choices from like characters wouldn't work too well, or like what was the purpose of doing some of the stuff. Um, Another thing that I didn't like was um, that they asked him, or they wanted to do another Matrix video game. Part of the company stuff that Neo worked in, he had created the video game. The Matrix was basically the three movies. Uh, I think it was the three movies that he already worked on, as far as just the video game and stuff goes. Even though this was part of his life, I was like, why would you ask him to make a fourth one, a video game, knowing that he's being triggered from his past and stuff like that with the video games and stuff? I would have just stuck with creating new video games for him. The fact that that was something that you had your programming and stuff do was to have him work on the fourth one make no sense to me. Um, it didn't make sense to me at all. Just because I would not want to traumatize him more and more with the Matrix, because that's what kind of led him into leaving out of the Matrix and stuff, and wanting to leave. So yeah, uh, I guess it was good that he had him on the blue pills, but still, like making that decision to have a Matrix 4 video game wasn't the best decision. Made no sense at all, especially since Neil Patrick Harris's character is supposed to know humans a lot more, as far as just like more than the other Matrix and how that one was done. It didn't seem like he knew the human mind that well, as much as he thought he did. Um, yeah, or it did. Apologize. Um, yeah, it didn't really know human behavior that well at all. Uh, so yeah, uh, that's some stuff I thought that didn't too much work and make sense as far as the story goes. There's some other things that didn't too much work, but I still thought it was a good movie overall. I know critics and stuff didn't like it as far as just like some people's reviews and stuff like that probably went. Cause I seen like the numbers on IMDb and I seen the numbers on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, and I was like, well, shoot. But when I watched it, I was like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad whatsoever to me. I still enjoyed the movie. It still was entertaining. Um, you know, it's interesting how some of the stuff worked, as far as the machines helping the people, some machines, and that there was a war between the machines. So I thought that some of the stuff was interesting with that and the change ups. But I like that they still kept a lot of things relatively referenced, because that's how we usually see things as far as movies and stuff goes that are recreated, like the Nightmare on Elm Street or Texas Chainsaw. Uh, I'm just going off of horror for some reason. But where they recreate different things like the Spider-Man movies, stuff that we already familiar with, Marvel's stuff, DC stuff, uh, whether it's anime like Anita or Dragon Ball, stuff like that. These are all things that's familiar. A whole bunch of this stuff doesn't work. Some stuff actually do, but the studios want us to gravitate to stuff that's familiar, since we already know of these things. DC, Marvel, anime, even books, Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Since we're already familiar with a whole bunch of these things, Twilight, you say 50 Shades of Grey, they know that people will go and watch it, people will go and see it. We're going to give you stuff. It's just some just aren't is done well. A lot of them are not done well. Some are done okay, but yeah, that's basically what the feel of the movie is giving you. And I thought they hit some stuff pretty well. It's just some stuff just didn't work, but I thought the stuff that worked well outshadowed the stuff that didn't. So that's why I was like, I think they were some stuff, as far as numbers and stuff goes, people's ratings were harsher, because that's all I looked at was the ratings. They're a little bit harsher than I thought was deserved. uh, yeah, it wasn't the best movie of 2021 coming out. I still feel like Spider-Man outdid them as far as that goes, but I still thought that it was a pretty decent movie. I thought it was better than a lot of the other box offices that came out, like Eternals or something like that. As far as other stuff that's familiar, that we know of that came out this year. So yeah, still decent movie. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. If y'all watched it and y'all seen it, how y'all felt about it. What new interesting things that they did bring in that you liked. What stuff that you didn't think worked. I think they're gonna go with another movie. They could, because I feel like Smith's time is not over with. I feel like there's a lot more that he was wanting to do that they didn't show. So I think that there's going to be more to this, The Matrix and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. But thank you all so much for jumping on and watching my review. I don't do a lot of reviews, but I'm gonna try my best to do more reviews and stuff like that. So thank you all so much for just jumping on and giving me a try. I really appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, geekdom.